Well, Donnie, a successful homestand for you. What did you learn about your team over the last 8 games?
I don't know. I really don't know. And I guess as you get older, you're supposed to get better at these. And to be honest with you, you start off with the successful. I guess. We won 7-8, but everyone says 8-3 is a good spot. I expect us to be 11-0. So I'm getting bad at answering the questions. I've learned, I think, more what we haven't been able to do. We need to play better defense, and I'm really disappointed with our defensive. And I don't want to be negative about this, but that's, for me, I learned that we just haven't made as many plays as we need to make. And I said from the get-go I thought we'd be a good offense 1 through 9. That's kind of showing up. Those young pitching staff, even though it's young, Joe and Tanner and Scott were all big-time contributors for us last year too. So I just think we've learned a little bit about, maybe some individually and team-wise. I don't think we've learned a lot about the team yet. One positive, I guess, would be I don't see a lot of panic in this team, and I think that's good. I think our guys just, no matter what the scores they play, and they feel like they're going to win ball games, and they know how to do that. I think when we get back from Texas and Arizona, I think I could probably answer that question better.
You've shuffled the rotation a little bit just with the weather and the 4-game series, but your front 3 guys have been your front 3 guys, and you've also had some relievers settle into roles. You knew what Leckenby and Camus were going to be, but it seems like other guys have developed and already stepped into some roles for you.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in those 3 starters. Joe and Cleverad and Scotty. I'm a big fan. I'm going to keep saying it the next 2 years. These guys are going to be as good a rotation as we've ever had since I've been here. I can't speak for the teams prior, but I think that those 3 guys are going to be a special rotation before it's all said and done. And then you're going to hear a lot about Leckenby. JD's really coming into his own, and when you're as physical like he is, and you're up to 97, kind of the things he's doing, you're going to talk about those guys a lot. But really, how those guys get wins and how a guy like JD gets saves is the bullpen. It's Kellen Camus, it's Sean Hartnett, it's Sam Treese, it's Richie Ochoa, Jason Monda, Bauer, and all of a sudden now we got a McDowell coming in the mix a little bit and did a good job, and I know Schroeder will too as well. So those guys are the unsung guys. Those are the guys that don't get the wins, they don't get the losses usually, they don't get the saves, but I think those are the guys that are going to make the difference in our team. I think Swinton's done a good job of mixing and matching and putting those guys in positions to be successful, to grow, because you figure now Sean Hartnett in particular, he's in an important role last year. He was in a mop-up last year. It wasn't the innings weren't as important as they are now. Sam Treese is first-year JC guy, so he's in the thick of it more. Jason Monda hasn't pitched. Kellen's always been important since he's been here, but now Kellen's that bridge guy to get to JD. So really happy with those guys, and I think with the pitching staff, because of their youthfulness, they'll continue to get better every week, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Offensively, you probably knew what to expect out of some of your returners, but you take a look at 3 guys in particular. I know Rosen was on the roster last year, but not a lot of ABs, but Stemp has really solidified you at the top of the batting order, and then Tanielu and Rosen are giving you a good 1-2 punch in the middle of the lineup. Yeah,
Trek is really important for us because if you look up and down our roster, I don't think we have a lot of leadoff type guys. The other leadoff type guy we have is another freshman, Austin Purnell. He's just not experienced enough yet, so he's going to be good for us though one day as he continues to mature and gets better. But yeah, Trek just has that it factor, whatever it is, and he just knows how to play. He's so low drama with a high motor, so he's one of those guys where I'll be honest with you, it's going to be hard not to hit him leadoff in the next 4 years of his career here. Doing a really, really good job. And then the middle of the order guys, we knew last year when we talked about losing Arden Jones that we were going to still have some power, and we talked about Yale Rosen and Ty Jackson, even though Ty's hurt. We talked about Ty and Yale and Tanielu and some of those guys with some power that'll show up, and it's starting to come to fruition for us. So it's early, and they're going to face some better pitching this weekend. They're going to face some better pitching the following weekend. They're going to play in hostile environments. So can you play like you're playing in tougher venues? And that's what we'll see this next couple weeks.
You guys head out on a long road trip. Nothing new for your program at this time of year. With the Pac-12 at 30 games, though, you have to see an Arizona State at the back end of this trip. But you see ASU, who's always good at home, and then you see a Texas San Antonio squad first, who hasn't lost at home this year.
Yeah, when you say great schedule, that's not being offensive to San Antonio or Arizona State. I think it's good for us to play a good team like San Antonio on the road, beginning of spring break. Not that our guys aren't distracted, but when you're on spring break, they think a lot about playing, and you're playing a team that's undefeated at home. I think they're second in the country in batting average, so they're obviously swing the bat well. They obviously swing the bat well at their park. And then Arizona State's Arizona State. I mean, I know that's a hungry club. They're well coached. I think they're somewhat like us when it comes to age. They're kind of a youthful team too, and missing the NCAA tournament last year due to the NCAA sanctions. I know that's a real hungry team. That's a really, really proud program. So, you're never excited to go play in tough venues, but you're not excited. You just you're not just chomping at the bit, but you're excited. Let's go play a good team and see what type of team that we really are.
The conference has a lot of teams that are off to good to great starts in non-conference. Your team among those. How important is it for you to get off to a good start in the conference?
They all count. Every game that you play counts. There's 30 of them. There's coach talk. Hey, you got to go win one on the road. You got to win series. We just got to play good baseball. If we play like we played this weekend at San Antonio or at Arizona State, we won't win the series. We just won't. Those are good teams. We won some ball games, but we didn't play great. We need to play great to win ball games on our schedule, especially the really recent schedule that we have coming up.
Coach Joe has a few nice games under his belt so far this year. Just can you talk a little bit about the development you've seen from him and how he's developing as also kind of your ace so far?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and look at his career starts, I mean, you'd have to ask Craig. I don't know if he's had a bad start. I really don't know if he's ever had a bad start. I think he had a couple high pitch count starts early in his career, which was over a year ago. It's funny. It's not like he's heavy or anything. He's a lot stronger. He's more disciplined, I think, away from the field, which in turn is going to make him have more success. But the one thing about Joe that hasn't changed, he's competitive. And the bigger the situation, the bigger the game, the bigger the moment, the bigger he gets. He shies away from absolutely nothing, and that's the key for him. I mean, there's guys with better stuff. I mean, but it's not always about the stuff, and that's what our players got to realize. It's not the biggest and the strongest and the fastest. It's not the best team or the best player. It's the player that plays the best. And right now he seems to pitch the best. So I just hope to just keep doing what he's doing. He's developing all his pitches. His fastball's developing. His breaking ball's developing. His changeup's developing. And he doesn't know this. I mean, I watch him practice a lot. I watch him, and the neat part about Joe is, we always talk about what's the definition of character, and character is what you're doing when no one's looking. And as a pitcher, you can spend a lot of time, at baseball in general, you spend a lot of time on your own. And if you corner eye him and you watch what he's doing, he's putting the work in. So he's putting the work in during the week to have success on the weekends, and then the Cougs, we benefit from that.
And at the start of the year, you had a few guys that started off the season dinged up a little bit, a couple injuries. Just how's the health of your team overall right now? You guys?
I think we have some guys that are out for the year. Period. Ty Jackson, he was going to be a guy that we thought could hit for us as well as be a valuable bullpen guy. He's out for the year. His brother Bryce, he potentially might be done for the year. So we have some other guys that are out for the year. But with the guys that we've played, I think we're relatively healthy. A little bit nagging injuries, but I'm hoping by the time we get back from Tempe, we're really, really healthy.